So I wanted to talk about Lord of the Rings for a second. I got my Frodo and Sam shirt on, but there's a scene where Gandalf is talking to Frodo. It's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie series. Frodo's basically talking about Gollum and Bilbo should have killed Gollum, and Gandalf's kind of taken back by this because Frodo's like, it's a pity that he didn't kill him, and Gandalf's like, pity? He's like, it's pity that may have kept Bilbo from Gollum. Then he says some of the wisest words that I've ever heard, and he basically says to Frodo, he says, some that have lived deserved death, but some that have died deserve life. And then he asks him a question. He says, can you give it to them, Frodo? And then he says, do not be so quick to deal out death and judgment, because even the very wise cannot see all ends. And this is one of the craziest quotes, because we as humans have the power to kill people, right? We have the power to make a judgment to take someone's life. We have that ability. But in our own selves, we don't have the power to give someone life outside of Jesus or outside of resurrection power, which is through Christ. And it puts it in perspective, just like Gandalf's talking about, where he's basically like, don't be so quick to determine who deserves to die or who doesn't deserve to die based on what you think your moral compass says that person deserves death. Because if you have the ability to take someone's life, but you don't have the ability to give someone life, then what makes you think you should have the God nature of dealing out death and judgment, where you think I have the ability to know enough things to determine who deserves to die and who deserves to live? He says in that quote, even the very wise can't see all ends. So in other words, even the wisest person on earth can't determine what role one person might play in this earth or in this life, and what they might do to put forth the will of God. If you aren't God, if you don't have the ability to see all ends, if you don't have the ability to know all things, you shouldn't have the power or take on the role of justice to determine who gets to live and who gets to die. Christians especially, we are called to deal out grace, mercy, love amongst the world, right? It's just something that was awesome. When you hear that quote, you're just like, oh my gosh, I have thought differently at times, and I've heard people all the time in my life say, man, because of what they did, they deserve to die. They should be, or whatever. Like, you just hear crazy things when you live in this world. Man. But Lord of the Rings, what a great movie. If you haven't seen that movie, you should go watch that movie. Tolkien writing some fire literature. Anyways, that was it. Told my friends I would talk about this in a video. Shout out to my buddies, Beth and Sean.